Assalamualaikum semua. Okay. Hi everyone. I hope everyone is fine. Okay. Ready to actually start our lesson today. Okay. All right. So today we are going to a new topic, which is correction of errors. Okay, this topic is actually to enhance your double entry when you learn in semester 1, okay, where you have learned what are the accounts that has to be debited, what are the accounts that have to be credited. Okay, so this is actually to enhance back your double entry skills. Okay, so before we proceed to your new topic, so this topic, all right, let's refresh back what you have learned of your double entry previously in semester 1, where you have learned extended equation. What are the extended accounting equation? Is actually your asset plus your expenses plus your drawings equals to liability plus your capital plus your revenue. I hope that you still remember this equation because it really helps you in answering these questions or answering this topic and your tutorial and your test. Okay, so if you still blur about this standard accounting equation, I would suggest that you go back to your semester 1 lesson and study it back, because when you have not strong foundation of double entry concept, it will affect your understanding of this chapter 2. Okay, so this is a standard accounting equation. Go back to your standard accounting equation. Asset, expenses, drawing equal to liability, capital, and revenue. So assuming that this is your T accounts, okay, asset, expenses, drawing, because they have same characteristic. Okay, what are the characteristic here? Where when there is an increase of asset, expenses, and drawing, meaning that that will be increase on the debit side. And when you have a less increase in liability capital, so it will increase on the credit side. So automatic, your debit will be decreased, so your credit side is for your decreasing items. So I hope that you have a strong knowledge of these standard accounting equations. Okay, all right. So let's start our lesson today. Okay, so for learning objective of this topic, we have 5 learning objective here. So the first one is first and second and third is actually how are you going to differentiate, how are you going to distinguish the errors that will not affect your trial balance and errors that will affect your trial balance. So as you can see from your learning objective, we have 7 errors that will not affect your trial balance and the 4 errors that will affect your trial balance. And then afterwards, you have to post that transaction into your suspense account. What is suspense account? Okay, later on we will learn about this. And then lastly, you have to calculate your new profit after you have done your correction. Okay, so inshallah today we are going to cover learning objective number 1 and also learning objective number 2. Okay, all right, so let's start. Okay, now before we proceed, so this is actually the introduction of your topic. So as you know, you have in semester 1, you have learned how to prepare a trial balance before you prepare your financial statement for your SOPOL and also your SOPI. So before you prepare that SOPOL and SOPI, you have to prepare your trial balance. Why? Because it's actually to test the accuracy of your bookkeeping. Okay, which means that if you still remember the format of trial balance, so you have your, okay, this is the format. I will record it. I will recap this part for you. So you have debit items and you have credit items. So this is the list of your accounts. Okay, so your trial balance will be okay, would be correct if your debit item, let's say you have 1,000 in your debit side, you also have 1,000 in your credit side. So this is how your trial balance look like. Okay, but somehow or other your company might do some mistake or might do some errors where you have put it wrongly in your transaction, so automatically your trial balance will not be Correct. So somehow that errors will affect your trial balance, meaning that if your debit, you get 1,000. If it's a fact, your credit will not get the same as 1,000. Maybe he got at 800 only. Okay, so these errors is affecting your trial balance. Okay, what does it mean by errors not affecting trial balance? Some errors, there are some errors in your accounts or on your amounts, but your trial balance would be the same, still sama, still 1,000, both on your debit side, both on your credit side. That would be the same, masih sama, even though you have some errors in your accounts or in your amounts. Okay, so this is the topic that we will be covered today, the 7 errors. Okay, so let's look to your errors not affect your trial balance. Okay, so we have 7 errors not affect trial balance. So I put it here in the acronym, so it's easier for you to memorize or for you to remember in answering your test or your tutorial, which is poor CCT. Okay, what is it? Poor CCT. So what does it mean? Poor. P is error of principle, meaning that you have a correct double entry, you have debit item and credit item, but you have a wrong class of account. What does it mean, class? So your class is mean that you have asset, expenses, and drawing. This is class number 1. Okay, this is class number 1. Then you have another class, which is liability plus capital plus liability. This is class number 2, second class. Okay, this is class number 2. Okay, so you have wrong class, meaning that you put it in the same wrong accounts but at the different class. Okay, so next is actually error of omissions. What does it mean by error of omission? Is meaning that you have completely not record anything in your ledger or in your journal or in your books. You let's say your bookkeeper has forgotten to record this transaction in your ledger, so that is error of omission. The third one is the second O, or the third one is error of original entry, where you have recorded at the incorrect figure. Let's say, for example, okay, from actually your sales should be amount of 2,000, but your a bookkeeper have recorded at 200 from the beginning, from the early of transaction. He has already recorded at 200, not at 2,000. Okay. Okay, the fourth one is reversal entry. The fourth errors is reversal, where you have recorded debit reversally of your credit and credit side. For example, your correct should be debit purchase and credit, let's say account payable, but you have recorded it as debit account payable, credit your purchase. So it won't affect your trial balance because you have double entry, the correct double entry with this correct amount. Okay, okay, next. The fifth error is error of commission, to wrong account of a correct class, meaning that you have recorded, let's say you have made some sales, okay, to account receivable. So you have 2 account receivable, one is Salima, okay, another one is Salma. All right, you should be, you have made your sales to Salma, but you have recorded to Salima account. Both are under account receivable, which means that at the correct class, okay, but at different account, wrong accounts. Next, the sixth one is compensating error, which is meaning you cancel out each other. For example, account payable, you have excess of 200 ringgit. At the same time, account payable also, account receivable also have excess of 200 ringgit. So account payable liability, which is on the credit side. Account receivable is asset, which is on the debit side. So both debit and credit side have an excess of 200. So it compensates each other. Okay, the last error would be transposition error. Okay, what does it mean? The sequence of the number that you have recorded in your accounts will not be the same as the original amount. Okay, for example, your sales should be 323, but you have recorded as 332. Okay, you have wrongly sequenced your numbers or your amount. Okay, all right, so let's look one by one the example and how to rectify the problem. Are you ready? Okay, let's start. Okay, the first one is poor CCT. So the first one is P, okay, error of principal. Remember, when you have a correct double entry, meaning that you have debit item, incorrect credit items, but you have recorded into a wrong class of accounts. So example here, repair two vehicles amount 2,800. So you should debit your repairs of 2,800 and credit your cash of 2,800. But somehow you have recorded it wrongly. You pergi record debit vehicles of 2,800 and credit cash of 2,800. Okay, wrong class meaning that these both is actually under the same class, but repairs is your expenses, vehicles is under your asset, both on the same side, debit side, okay, but at the wrong class. Okay, how to correct your entries, how to correct the address is actually, you have to take out, you have put back the original, the correct entry, so debit repairs, and then you have to take out your vehicles, keluarkan, okay, because this is wrong. So credit back your vehicle, you credit it, okay, to rectify the error. Okay, next, okay, poor. So O, the first O is omission, where you have completely omitted this transaction into your books or into your ledger. So a cash payment of 2,750 for purchase. So it should be you record purchase and you record debit your purchase and credit your cash. But you do not record anything into your books or into your ledger. So what you should do, just put it back, okay? Debit your purchase, credit your cash, okay? Just do that corrections, okay? You just put it back. Next, the second error, poor CCT. Okay. Oh, sorry. The second error is should be original, incorrect, but double entries you observe using incorrect. Should be okay. Let's say a cash purchase of 200 has been entered in both of the accounts. Okay, so you record should be your entry is debit purchase, credit or cash, but somehow your bookkeeper have recorded it wrongly. Dia pergi debit purchase of 2,000, credit your cash of 2,000. So they have recorded more. It should be 200, but they have recorded more than that 200. They pergi record at 2,000. So how to rectify that error is, okay, so you have to less this amount. So how to less? So this is on the debit side. So you less, you put it on the credit side. How much you should less? How much you should subtract from the original? You have to minus of 1,800. Okay, so that will become original of 200. And also debit your cash. You have to debit of 1,800 to subtract, to less, to minus of this 2,000. So you will become, your cash become back to 200. Okay, so this is kalau excess ya. If you record it wrongly, you just plus lah. If you record it as 20 here, 20 here for purchase or 20 for cash, you just put the same double entry, purchase here, cash here, but you have to add more so that you can get back to 200 as your right entry. Okay, I hope you understand this. It's okay. Later on, we will learn, we will do some exercises so that you get better understanding of these errors. Okay, next, the fourth error is, okay, R, reversal entry, where you have to debit and credit, but at the wrong side. Okay, you put it debit and credit, but at the wrong side. Okay, so for example, a payment of 900 to creditor Musha by cash. So the right entry is debit account payable Musha 900 and credit your cash. But somehow, so this is reversal entry, reversal errors. So you put it as debit cash. You see here. Okay, reverse, and your credit account payable 900. See here, reverse. So how to correct your entries, how to correct that errors is this. Okay, you go back, you just put the correct accounts here, account payable cash, but you have to double it up. So you have to double that amount. Why? Because the first 900 is to cancel out this error. Okay, another 900 is to put back the correct error, the correct entry here. Okay, ingat, the first 900 to cancel out this error that you have done earlier on. Another 900 is to put back the correct entry here. Same goes to your cash account. The first 900 to cancel out this error. Okay, the second 900 to put back your 900 here, the correct entries. Okay, hopefully you don't to block your mind. Okay, we will do these exercises, a lot of exercises of correction of errors, so that you get better understanding on this. Okay, next, the fifth one is actually errors of commission. Okay, this time is actually wrong account but at the correct class. For example, a sales of 3,002 rupawan. So should be debit account receivable rupawan and credit your sales. But you have recorded it wrongly. You put it under jelitawan instead of rupawan. Wow, kan? Okay. Both are pretty. Rupawan, jelitawan. Okay. So how to do the correction is, right? So you have to do some adjustment. You take it out, this error. Okay, so instead of debit, you put it on the credit side. You keluarkan, take it out, and then you put the right entry here, which is rupawan. Okay, rupawan, jelitawan. Okay, next. Okay, next. The sixth error is persisity. Okay, the sixth error is compensating error, which is, remember that, account receivable more for 200, account payable also more, excess of 200. So it compensate each other. For example, here it gives you the example, your purchase account, which is your expenses. So expenses. All right, so expenses is actually your debit. Okay, so purchase is expenses. So this is on the debit side. Okay, was overcast, terlebih by 700 and so as to sales account. Sales is your revenue. So revenue is credit. All right. Okay, so what will be the error? So you just keluarkanlah balik. Okay, you make it less. You debit your sales, okay, since your sales is revenue, credit, so you not make it less. So debit back your sales of 700, your credit your purchase of 700. So it won't be overcast anymore. It go back to original, the correct one actually. Okay, last errors that will not affect your trial balance is transposition error, where you have a credit purchase of Mariam 76. So this is your right entry. Debit purchase 76 and credit Mariam 76. But you have recorded in your books as 67. Okay. Transposition is sequence number. Okay. So how to make a corrections is, okay, you have to purchase, since this is 66 and 67 and this one is 76, so it less. So you just add more of 9 ringgit. Tambah je, okay, this 9 ringgit. And for Mariam also, you have to add 9 ringgit. So it will become 76 in your transaction. Okay, so remember, we have, okay, we have 7 errors. Okay, persisity. Okay, POORCCT. So principle of omission, okay, error of principles, okay, error of omissions, error of original entry, error of reversal entry, error of commissions, error of compositions, and then transposition error. So persisity. I hope that you remember this acronym, so it is easy for you to memorize in understanding your test, in answering your test, in answering your tutorial. Okay, so inshallah, okay, all right, we will go to your exercises. Okay, we will go to your exercises that will be discussed in the class. Okay, hold on, yeah. Okay, that will be discussed in your class. So hopefully, okay, Okay, hopefully your exercises, these exercises will enhance your understanding of errors not affecting your trial balance. And inshallah, for our next lesson, we will discuss this exercise, and also we will proceed to your 4 errors that will affect your trial balance. Okay, all right, till then, we'll see you for your next lesson. Okay, bye everyone. Assalamualaikum.